In Angeles City, there is this phenomenon known as barangay girls. These girls are kind of an alternative to bar girls. Now, these girls are born and raised, look, I hate to say it, folks, but born and raised in the slums of Angeles City. In Angeles City, there is a phenomenon known as barangay girls. Now, these girls are an alternative to bar girls. These girls are born and raised, look, I hate to say it, folks, but basically born and raised in the slums of Angeles City. They're forced to work as hooks at basically a young age. Unfortunately for them, it's just the luck of the draw. I mean, you could be born into the Hilton household, or you could be born in the slums of Angeles City. Wherever you're born, folks, that's your reality. And that's all you know. What's going to happen if you are visiting Angeles City? Well, these girls will contact you via Facebook. That's how they get 100% of their clients. Now, you're in your expensive, suite at the Ritz-Carlton. These girls are in the slummiest of slums. Now, you happen to be on Facebook and you set your location on Facebook to Angeles City. Now, these girls in the slums that are a mile away from you, now they're going to contact you. They will contact you if they're friends with your friend. They will message his friends, which would be you. Okay, so there you are in the Beverly Hilton in Angeles City, and these slum girls are now going to contact you. So these girls in the slums in Angeles City, let's get to the point here, folks. They are called barangay girls, okay? That's their name. That's how they're referred to. And they are what you'd call an option to meet for some poontang if you're into that. So you understand here, folks, there are barangay girls and bar girls. Barangay girls are a cheaper alternative for guys who are into paying for it, okay? Why the barangay girls don't just go work in a bar? I mean, get a job somewhere? Look, they even may make more money in a bar, because these girls, as I've heard, their number one problem is finding customers, okay? Because there's so many barangay girls and there's not enough foreigners, they have problem finding customers because the customers only want the prettiest of girls. Now, why aren't these girls just working in a bar like all the other girls? Look, who knows? Maybe they don't like rules. But these girls, they just get customers on Facebook. They focus their effort on Facebook. They don't even walk on the streets. They stick to the slums and they're on Facebook and they're looking for men on Facebook who live in Angeles City. Now, the obvious question is, do the parents know what their daughters are doing? Look, the answer is absolutely yes, they do. The parents know. But you see, they're all raised in absolute poverty. All of them. The entire family, the great-grandpa, the grandma, everybody is raised in absolute poverty. The daughter, the parents, grandparents. Look, on top of that, everybody in the neighborhood is doing it. They all know about the industry. They all know where the money is. All the girls in the barangay are doing it. Look, it's like this. One mama sees her friend's daughter come home with, some 1,000 pesos notes. And she starts talking to her daughter. Hey, why don't you follow her and see how she gets that money? Look, mama knows the dealio. She knows what's going on, but she wants Dottie to figure it out on her own. They don't care. The mother doesn't care. So it becomes normalized in these poor neighborhoods. And this phenomenon only exists in Angeles City. Listen, folks, in the entirety of the country of the Philippines, this phenomenon of barangay girls, it only exists in Angeles City. I know a lot of pervs are now checking Airbnb in Angeles City. Well, hold your horses, gentlemen. Hold it right there. You must be aware of the realities of this situation. Listen, my finger is pointing at you. I'm waggling my finger. How dare you take advantage of someone's daughter? Okay, I've said the obvious disclaimer, folks. Now let's get to the raw dog situation, folks. There are two things to be careful of here when dealing with barangay girls. These girls are not checked. Okay? They're not checked per se, if you know what I'm saying. Do they wear condoms? Well, let's put it this way. If the guy wants condoms, they'll wear condoms. But does the guy want condoms? Hell no, he don't want condoms. Okay? And number two is, look, there's no way to check the ID of this girl. She can easily get some fake ID there. It would cost her all of 500 pesos to get a fake ID there in the slums. Now, listen, folks, let's get past that raw dog stuff, okay? Let's move into the next category. In Angeles City, the slums. I mean, they're huge. There's an infinite amount of people there. I mean, look, if you're standing on the bridge looking into the horizon, all you see is slums. I mean, there are countless barangay girls in this industry, thousands. I mean, one sees the money another is making. I mean, look, you go down to that level, okay? You go down to where they are. You're living their lifestyle of 5 pesos here and 5 pesos there. I mean, one sees the money another is making. It goes from 5 pesos to 1,000 pesos. You know what I'm saying? And they want to join in, and word of mouth spreads. Now, do the girls enjoy their job? Let's just get to the biz, Holmes, okay? Let's get to the biz. Do the girls enjoy the job? The answer is no, okay? But do they enjoy the money? Absolutely. It's all they think about. This entire industry revolves around the bones. Do they enjoy the random partners, the fat men, the old men? I mean, hey, how many of the guys are actually looking like Tom Cruise? Less than 1%, Holmes. I mean, look, the men are disgusting. But the girls got to deal with it. I mean, that's all they know. That's their only way to make money. Do they enjoy their job? Hell no. No, they don't. And the common complaint is that it hurts. The D hurts. Look, I'm not a girl, so I don't know the feeling, but that is the common complaint. But listen here, folks. Let's be a little understanding. It's through no fault of their own. They simply have no choice. They were, I mean, as you might say, born on the wrong side of the tracks. And I'm not talking about the girls being born in the wrong place. Let's go beyond that, folks. I'm talking about the parents and the grandparents, the great-grandparents. Like, personally, I thought, like, where in the family lineage did things go so wrong? But are the parents okay with their daughters actually hooking? Absolutely. To them, I'm going to assume that, sex is no big deal. So their daughter is banging foreigners. Look, you and I, we see that as prostitution. You and I, we see these girls as, it's hard to say, but, working on the streets. We got to watch our wording here for the tubiest of tubes. But they, the slum people, the parents with the daughters, the parents earning 5 pesos here and there, they don't see it that way. They don't see it as hooking. These people born and raised in the slums of Angeles do not see it that way. Remember, this is specific to Angeles. Even their daughter goes from guy to guy on different days. The parents don't see it that way. They don't see it in a bad way. They don't see it the way we see it, okay? The daughter is banging guys older than her dad. The dad doesn't care. Now, look at the girlfriend of old Henry there, okay? The girl is forced to flee her neighborhood in Batangas and find an older guy. Basically, a savior. The guy is a savior. Henry is a savior. This is in order for her to escape her poverty. Now, you tell me, what are the options of this 18-year-old? What are her other options? Only Henry can help her escape her reality. Now, if this 18-year-old with Henry had happened to be born in Angeles City, undoubtedly she would be a barangay girl. But she was born in Batangas, where they don't have this barangay girl phenomenon. Remember, it's only Angeles City where they have the barangay girl phenomenon. But if you compare the barangay girl to Henry's girl, suddenly Henry's girl's situation doesn't look so bad. with the 18-year-old barangay girls in Angeles who are, look, basically spreading for dollars, and this is not a game show, folks. Spreading for dollars with random men, increasing her body count every few days, risking the threat of catching a virus such as gonorrhea. She won't even have the wherewithal to pay a doctor if she catches something. I mean, the barangay girls, they need all the money they can get for their family. She can't waste it on a doctor's visit. She doesn't have that extra money to spend on a doc. Just remember that when you are in Angeles City and you are the one being contacted by these barangay girls on Facebook, on top of catching something, guys, beware here because of, you might catch something. They don't have the controls that the bar girls have, okay? The bar girls are checked every week. The barangay girls are never checked. And also, I mean, I gotta say, like the barangay girls, they could be under the legal, you know what I'm saying here, okay? Like they could have a fake ID. You could be in big trouble. But let's go further here, folks. The people born in this environment, the Angeles City slums, okay, for example, life is tough for them, okay? They were born in a tough situation, and tough situations are nothing new for them. Tough days, difficult days, I mean, hey, that's all they know. It's all they know from sunup to sundown. Life is tough. So your daughter getting syphilis, and now she's having to deal with it, and you as a father seeing your little princess suffering with pain and no medicine. That's a tough situation for wimps like you or me. For these peeps, these slum peeps, they are tough. It's like, pass the salt, Holmes. Where is my pork adobo? Hey, sis. Next time we're with your boyfriend, remember, ask him to pull out. We're having a hard time feeding the fam. It's not that they don't care, folks. It's just that for them, they got bigger problems, like feeding their fam. That's their priority. Remember, they live only for today. Are you listening carefully here, folks? Killing the goose that lays the golden egg. I mean, you gotta understand. You gotta read between the lines. These parents don't see into the future for their offspring 5 years down the road. I mean, who are you kidding? They only see today. And imagine life for these offspring being raised in this environment, whereas middle-class kids are happy, their parents bring them to Jollibee. It's just a common thing. You got the other side here, folks. These poverty kids stand outside of Jollibee. They don't feel they belong inside. Even if you offer to buy them food, they still feel like they should eat it outside. But these people, they have no choice but to do what the parents tell them to do. They were taught to beg from day one. I mean, children need to be guided by the parents in a positive direction, and poverty girls especially need to go in the right direction, but in reality 99% of the time they are guided in the wrong direction, forced on the streets all day while the parents pick up trash for recycling. These slum offspring on the sidewalk begging, and who's walking past them? Middle-class kids wearing school uniforms. I wonder how the slum kids view these students wearing uniforms. Do they feel inferior? Or are they immune to that feeling? I think they feel they are born into a separate world. They can't relate to middle-class peeps. They have no way to relate to these middle-class kids, even it's the same age. The most important part of this separate world being, look, they gotta bring home the bones, man. They gotta bring home the pesos. Bring home money and give it to the parents. Then when they reach adulthood, instead of marrying someone who can give them a better life, I mean a real better life, a marked improvement, a step in the right direction, they marry the trike driver or the jeepney driver assistant if they're lucky, because in their separate world, that is a gold mine. That is a man with a job. That is a big improvement. They married someone who can pay the bills and take care of them. And the reason she has married the trike driver assistant or gotten pregnant by an unemployed guy, it's all because she doesn't know her true value. I remember riding in a jeepney in Cebu. This was before the pandemic. And there was a girl looking at Scotty Boy. She didn't smile. She just looked. Kind of like, fascination. I mean, hey, can you blame her? I mean, you got Scotty Boy. Tall, white, and handsome, with a beautiful head of hair, except for the bald spot on the back, and the cellulite-covered buttocks. But she didn't see that as much as she wanted to, folks. But she was a beaut. I mean, she could have had Scotty Boy in an instant. But instead, she falls for, look, I mean, she was head over heels for the jeepney assistant. You know, good old Bung Bung. With his 90 USD a month he has rolling in. I mean, he's rolling in it, folks. Well, he's rolling in his own filth as he can't afford laundry soap. But that's okay, because he's got a beautiful babe. And my question to her is, would you dump him for me? I mean, look, you as a foreigner, you got some hot babe there. She's got some dude, you know, jeepney assistant for her lifelong partner. Would she dump him for you, the foreigner? I mean, that's what I want to ask this girl. She was hot. Look, of course, her boyfriend, the professional jeepney assistant, was standing right there. So if she was asked while her boyfriend was there, she'd say no. You know, I'll choose my little Bung Bung. But if Bung Bung had to visit the CR folks, or if he had a business meeting and she was able to tell the truth, I'm sorry to tell you, folks, adios Bung Bung. She'd be in my Airbnb so quickly with her pants around her ankle for no particular reason. Look, this is just my fantasy. But let's change the subject here, folks. We gotta keep this PG for the good old tubey tubes. I'm sure you've seen a lot of beautiful poverty girls who are 18 plus. You've probably seen them as you drive by the bamboo huts on the highway. I mean, look, you got this hot babe. She steps out of her bamboo hut and you're thinking, dang, cuz she hot as hell. But again, you need to stop your vehicle, get out and talk to her, but you don't do that because look, she would be freaked out. Because you're not part of her world. You are an alien, you are foreign. Even a middle-class Filipino would be foreign to her because you're not from the slum environment. So these girls, as beautiful as they are, top quality, better than a model, folks, they end up with these guys who barely survive. I mean, she doesn't know her true value. She doesn't know the golden rule. Guys don't date girls who are economically up. The girl doesn't know this. We date down. She had the option. She had the opportunity to marry someone who was way above her. She didn't realize. Someone who was way above a trike driver, way above someone making $4 a day, because this girl, she turned into a beautiful young lady. She could have gotten a Henry of her own. But hey, no money, no honey. For us men, okay? But for the female folks, no money, lots of honeys, okay? Look, well, if she's cute, if she's pretty, if that's what the man wants. And who doesn't want a pretty girl? I mean, how does the world work here, folks? Now, just remember, folks, that there are millions of peeps growing up in poverty. But remember, growing up in poverty in Angeles City, dude, that is a double whammy for trouble. But the question is, what can you do? I mean, you, as a foreigner, you listening to this video right now, what can you do? I mean, you want to help, right? But how? How can you help these people, these peeps, these poverty peeps? Look, it is raw dog time here, folks. And the answer is, I do have the answer. We're getting to the answer, but let's preface this by saying there is no quick fix. It will take generations to fix this poverty problem. Fixing the issue of no hope, absolutely no hope, and changing it to having at least a little hope. I mean, I want to live in a world where the 18-year-old won't touch Henry's sausage of love with a 10-foot stick. A world where Henry's fantasies remain fantasies. A world where we can say to Henry, look, calm down, dude, relax, stick to a woman your own age. There are lots of beautiful 65-year-old ladies out there just for you, Henry. Now, I do hope that Henry becomes a man of the Lord. But as for today's problems, this will take generations to fix. So the answer to how to help is that there is nothing you can do to help. Well, let me change that thought here, folks. There is one thing and I mean one thing only you can do to help these girls, and that's to build their client list of Johns. Oh, wait, no. Let's go in a positive direction here, folks. Let's really try to change their lives. Let's get back on track here, folks. The best thing you can do is start a university. Teach the beggars how to beg more efficiently. Now, we're going to get in more detail here, folks. The name of the university? Let's just keep it simple here. Beggar University. Beggars from around the world will be shipped to Angeles to learn how to sell. And then they'll go back to their countries and they'll beg more efficiently. Now, listen here, folks. The reason the slum peeps walk up to you with their hand out is because nobody taught them how to beg. What's the job of a person who begs? It's to sell. They got to sell something. They got to sell themselves. And we're going to get more in detail here in 1 second now. The street hawkers, they're in poverty because they don't know how to sell. They need to be taught what to sell and how to sell it. Standing there on the street corner saying, Cialis, good price. I mean, give me a break, dude. But again, they never learned how to sell. Let me tell you a story here, folks. There's one lady on Walking Street. I saw her every day while I was there at the Philly Willy bar. This girl is about 24, but she's only about 4'6". I mean, she is a smallie. A lot of guys know who I'm talking about. This lady has been selling her bod, okay, since she was a minor. She was underage when she was selling her bod there in Angeles. Now, a lot of guys who frequent Phillies know who I'm talking about. This girl was just walking around Walking Street area, selling her bod as a minor. She did this for years, but as she said, she did not enjoy doing it. But again, it was her only option. Now, this girl, I later learned, she had two sisters, okay, and they were doing the same thing. Although one now today has a Korean boyfriend. Now, this is very recent, and this boyfriend helps the other two. Now, whether the Korean boyfriend knows his girlfriend was a prostie before him, I don't know. But this 4'6" chocolate seller brings her little daughter, who's about 8 years old, as a sympathy play, as many beggars do, and she sells no-name chocolate bars. Now, her sales tactic is, now this is why we need Beggar University, folks. Her sales tactic is buy so I can buy rice to eat. That's her sales tactic. Okay? Like, what the F, Holmes? This is why we need Beggar University. I mean, you gotta understand here, folks. She never learned how to sell her chocolate bars. So learning how to sell would be one tactic to get this 4'6" girl out of poverty. So if anyone is willing to start Beggar University, you will be the man of the hour. You will be the man of the Lord, doing the Lord's work. Most peeps, they just want to turn the blind eye. Now, I don't like that personally. I like to locate what exactly is the problem and then solve that problem. There is no turning a blind eye with regular guy, folks. But do I want to start Beggar University personally? I mean, hell yes. Yes, I do. Well, kind of no. I mean, look, do I want to go through the process of actually starting a university with no profit? I mean, come on, dude. Hell no. It's too much work for Scotty boy. I mean, look, I'm no longer in Angeles City. Look, out of sight, out of mind. In my new world, in Mindanao, or as I'm going to Cebu, there are no beggars. There are no hawkers. Actually, there are, but never mind that. There are no bar girls. Well, there are. There are no barangay girls. That is true. And no former prosties selling me no-name chocolate bars. That's true too. I mean, look, sales is the best skill that you can have. And it's the best skill these poverty babes can have. I bless it on the great ace bachelor El Coolio, because he is there in Angeles City right now. He is the man. He has the USD banknotes rolling in. He has the intelligence. He is the man in Angeles City. He is the man to start Beggar University. All he has to do is find a place, a location, to teach these poverty peeps how to sell. He first needs to bring the Lord to these folks, okay? That's step number one. And then he needs to teach them how to sell. Teaching people how to sell is the basis of Beggar University. Look, folks, the world operates on give and receive. You must give in order to receive. And people may say, hey, dude, hey, homeboy, these peeps, they don't have anything to give. And I'd say, hey, listen, can they smile? Can they compliment? If I had nothing, if I was born in a family with nothing and was raised in like small town Samar, which is the poorest province, this is what I would do. I would stand outside of Jollibee and I'd compliment every single person that entered Jollibee. I would say, hey miss, are those new shoes? They're beautiful. Wow, mister, talk about a perfect head of hair you have. And now after you receive a compliment, you smile. And it's hard to resist not giving that person 1 peso or 5 pesos. Look, instead today, how do the beggars look outside of Jollibee? They look depressed. They got a sad look on their face as if to say, please, I have nothing. Please give me some bony bones. But that doesn't work. It doesn't inspire people to give you something. In 10 years from now, I guarantee you're going to be doing the exact same thing. I want these people to level up. I want the beggars to level up their game. Yes, they were born with a bad hand. I get it. But it only means they need to work harder and smarter. May the Lord be with you, my great brethren. Please pray that Ace Bachelor Cool starts Beggar University and he does good in the world. Together, let's do some good in the world, folks. You and I. On the next episode, folks, we will talk about banging the poverty babaroonies. No, we must get serious here, folks. We will be talking about something completely different. Till the next video, my great brethren, I will see you on the very next Vitorino.